Is we live? Let me just turn this off. I'm doing too much. I'm holding up the progress. That's what we're gonna do. Hello, hello, hello. Thank y'all for tuning to another great episode of LaQuinta Chatterbox. And of course, who back yet again?
Me, Erica Kane.
Girl, hey, yes. Let me get on here because I want to make sure that they can hear us and it's turned up. It is okay. So, how your week been?
My week been good.
Let's start out there.
My week has been good. I ain't
And
got no complaints.
those eyewear, I already know where you get them from, but tell everybody where you get that eyewear from.
For my own business, Alluring Elements.
Say that again.
My own business, Alluring Elements.
Alluring Elements. Y'all hear that, baby? When I tell you, she got some of the 5 shades around. Y'all better get, and y'all know where y'all can get them from, don't you? One of the places, because she do have many places where you can get them. But of course, none other than Pamper Boutique and Wellness. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Clock it.
Yeah.
Yes. So I've been seeing you in vending and everything, state to state. I see you, girl. Loving it.
Thank you, friend.
Loving
I'm
it.
out here trying to do some things.
And we're proud of you.
Well, thank you. You know, I'm always proud of you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like good supportive friends. You hear me?
Mm-hmm. Get you some, bitches.
You heard.
Get you some.
Yes. So, we're gonna go on jump on into it.
Yes.
Because baby, they was about to, the internet be ready to tussle.
Mm-hmm.
And baby, when I tell you they was ready to tussle, they was ready to tussle.
They was ready.
Yeah.
I like to tussle a little bit.
Just a little bit,
Just a little bit.
Now, one thing about it, everybody have their own opinion.
Yes.
And they are entitled because your viewpoint may not be the next one. Just like mine may not be yours and yours might not be mine.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody entitled to their opinion. But we're gonna jump right into it. I just couldn't wait because this is a great topic because this is something that goes on and has been going on for a long time, and we're talking about for the ones that I know if you're on social media, you know about it. The Kendra Scott and her 13-year-old daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She found a 20-year-old under the bed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it seemed, every day it's something new coming out about the story now, honey. Every day. But we gonna start from the beginning, from what we first, because I had shared a post.
Okay.
I had shared a post. And basically I think this was like Saturday or Sunday, okay? So the only information that was really out was that she found the 20-year-old underneath the bed and she ended up shooting him in the back of the head as he walked out. Now, by Sunday, they were saying that the boy was mentally delayed. That's the word the people use on the street. So I said, if she had shot the boy in the back of the head while he was hiding under the bed, wouldn't nobody even know about this case. Right. But the fact that she, it's unlawful to shoot somebody as they leaving and they pose no threat to you, right? That's unlawful. But I said at that time, free her. Because a child molester is a child molester. And when you in a moment like that, you're not thinking all the way. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of people, one of the comments was like, oh, y'all so quick to kill a person. Well, when a person committing a crime against you, your children, your home, you can kill them. You can, that's, no one in the heat of the moment is sitting and asking questions about what's going on. And I'm seeing this pre the new information,
Okay.
right? This is all pre the new information.
So what's the new information?
The new information is that people around Memphis, one of her friends said that she had been allowing this to go on for 2 years, and that she was only upset, well, alluded that she was upset because the young man did not pay the light bill or something. And she had previously made a statement he couldn't come back over there until he paid the light bill. And the friend explained that she left Miss Scott left her boyfriend house. She got the Uber for him to come over there. And because he didn't have the phone bill, she was irate and shot him in the back. Now, if this alleged news story is true, then it is so much other different. She was wrong anyway, because how you letting somebody come see your 11-year-old daughter? If it's been 2 years, she 13, they say it's been 2 years, you letting an 18-year-old come see your daughter. It's very much giving you was using this young man for his check to pay your bills. So where we gonna jump?
Well, so let's go back.
Let's go back. Okay.
Before the new information surfaced, because we don't know if the new information.
We don't know if it's true.
We don't know. We don't know what part of it is true and what part of it is false. Other than she saw him under her child's bed, and once he walked out the house, she shot him in the back of the head. Mm-hmm. Now that we know, because that was the police report that we saw, and it was on the news. That part we know is true.
Right.
So with that being said, just knowing that part, you felt that she should have done.
I feel like I feel like people looking at the backstory, you're not thinking about a backstory in the heat of the moment. If somebody commit a crime against you, you're not gonna ask them what's their IQ. You have the right to protect. And if somebody walked in a bedroom, and we talking if she don't know, because I feel like the news story is probably the truth. But if you walk into a bedroom, your 13-year-old bedroom, and it's a man under the bed, I don't give a fuck if he really, I wouldn't even care if it was a child, 16, 17, you're going to be irate. You're trying to figure out what's going on, right?
Right.
And then it happens to be a man. Y'all not trying to talk and figure things out. You trying to what?
You trying to protect your house.
Exactly. And especially if you're a person who, owns a gun, I can see you shooting them. You don't have to have like that kind of reason to talk through every situation with somebody. That person could have been in there trying to kill your daughter, rape your daughter. Well, and I want to also say it was a comment about her age and that he didn't rape her. Anybody 13 years old is being raped. They can't, it's unlawful for them to have consent. So I don't care if
you say it's rape. So if it was consensual sex, it's still rape.
Yeah, this is still a child.
If even parental permission, you still feel it's rape.
Yeah. And I feel like she's being neglected by her mother and also abused by her mother. That happens. People pimp their children out all the time.
That's true. So I'm kind of still confused on what's the big concern was just somebody under your child's bed, or was it that it was a 20-year-old under your 13-year-old's bed? Because I think when I first heard the story, it was that the little girl did want him over there. Mm-hmm. How she was dressed, how she was looking, and a lot of people had concerns. A grown man should know that was a child. My opinion, I've been 13. Mm-hmm. And I've been a hot in the ass 13. I'm just gonna keep it real. I've been.
Let's break it down why you was a hot ass 13-year-old. Cause I think.
Well, let me tell you why I was.
Okay.
I wanted to be grown. I had older cousins that I watched just be grown, and that shit looked it fun to me. I watched them get dressed, go to the club, work, spend their money, and just have nice cars. I couldn't wait to do that. And at a young age, I always felt that I was older than, mentally than my peers. I hung around older people. I dated older people. That's just who I was, and that's what I wanted to do.
But when you say older, because see, you could be 13 dating a 16-year-old or 17. When you say older, are you speaking about adult me?
Well, let me tell you, I was 14 years old and my boyfriend was 20. And yeah, I was 14 and he was 20. I was. We're gonna hope them fireworks.
Okay.
We don't know if they're shooting or if there's fireworks. We're gonna keep going. But I know that it's impossible for that to be shoot. Like I was saying, when I was 14, my boyfriend was 20. I was an advanced 14-year-old though, getting ready to be 15. So
did your mama know?
Yeah, my mom didn't know how old he was. I knew how old he was. He didn't know how old I really was. Because I think I told him I was 16, getting ready to be 17, 18, something like that. I was developed. That's how I looked. And I carried myself, in that manner. And my mama would let him come and visit, and, because she didn't know he was that old. And he even had a car. And he was that old. But the killing part about it, I end up having my 2 children by him. I end up marrying him once, so I can see it, but as a mother having a daughter, when my daughter was 14, and if my daughter was dating, I didn't even allow my daughter to date like that at 14. I think each generation they raise their kids different, and I think it's the mindset as well. I couldn't have imagined my daughter dating a 20-year-old.
Yeah, I'm finna say, I think, because a lot of people like, oh, she fast, da, 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 da. I just don't think a child can be that fast. Because the question I would ask to, especially black women, we just demonize black children so bad in the black community, as if, like you said, you was running around with your cousins,
Right,
your
with
cousins,
older cousins,
with your older cousins, and they shouldn't have had you running around with them, right? They shouldn't even done it.
Right.
Cause you was a kid and they probably 18, 19.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. I was there too. But they shouldn't even had you around because you was a child. We put children in adult situations and then turn around and say they fast, they YNs, because the people who supposed to be looking out for them is contributing to it.
Well, so even with that being said, knowing that you think it's right for a parent to take a child's lot work, because he's still a child, really. He's 20 years old.
He's 20 years old, but we from what we know. It appeared at the time that she didn't know who that was. Somebody in your house, you stopping and having a conversation about who you are, what you doing here.
Well, if it was if it was somebody that broke in and it was in my, I get it. Hey, I wouldn't give a damn what the age is. If I didn't know you was in my house and I came in there and caught you under my child bed,
but that's what she said. That's what she told the police. I caught somebody. Now we later found out maybe she knew, right?
Right.
But when it first came out, it's basically, I come home.
And it's
I
somebody
can't
under my
I,
child's bed.
I can't get in my house. Then when I get in my house, it's somebody under my bed.
Right.
Under the bed, under the little girl bed.
See,
Hi.
I just had so many questions with that because one, I wanted to know why were you gone at 1:40 in the morning and your 13-year-old was at home alone? That's the first question. The second question, why couldn't you get in your house? Why you didn't have a key to get in your house? You had
You know how some, because in my, this was in my mind. Oh, excuse me, y'all. The friend addressed that people was thinking she was at work, but they said she didn't have a job, right? I was thinking maybe you was at work, came home, and you know how some houses you could just lock the inside lock and there's no lock unlocking from
Right.
the outside.
You got to lock it from unlock it from the inside.
Inside. That's
Like
what like a deadbolt. That was in my mind because I had a house like that.
But
Like,
then I would think, why would your first instinct would be to go in your daughter's room and look under her bed? Because evidently, for the daughter to say
Yeah.
hide under my bed, it had to be where you couldn't see under there. So she had to go and look and search because she knew somebody was in there.
yeah, I would say exactly if everybody in the house knows the deadbolt like I can't get in, then and when I take my key and I can't get in, then I'm definitely gonna think something going on in my
Right.
house that I ain't supposed to know about. You know
But
what I'm
then,
saying?
if you know
But-
that, why would you go in with a gun? If
she
you
went back
thinking
to
like
her car. I think you know she went back to her car and got the gun. Now I'm not the status. Well, I knew she gonna go to jail. That's what I put in the set. Like she's going to jail because of the actions. But it was a big but. If she had a shot that boy in her house, we wouldn't even known about.
we wouldn't be talking.
We wouldn't be talking about it
because he was in, you know,
yeah.
in her house.
And at the end of the day, I don't have no empathy or no sympathy for a child molester. No matter how you try to slide, I ain't got no empathy for it. So when people was like, oh, he's special needs, okay, special needs, sexually assault people, they go to prison, they on the sex registry. And if his mindset is whatever, we just gonna throw out his mindset same as hers 13. Well, when he 40, his mindset still gonna be 13.
Right.
Which means and then they showed that the boy was messaging and communicating to 10, 11, 12 years old. That seemed to be his preference. Now, a lot of people, especially, and I ain't gonna bring her up, but somebody's like, well, Erica, you got a special needs child. I got a special needs child. Before I had a special needs child, I worked with special need adults for about 7 years, right? Group homes, raver at their own homes. These kind of behaviors, it ain't no changing.
Well, if it's no changing, who do we fault?
We fault the person or the people who supposed to be taking care of him. When you have a special needs child, you can't just throw them off in the world when they get grown. So either he ain't in a group home or no facility because you just can't walk out them doors at any time you want to. There's house rules, right? So either he lives on his own or he lives with someone. Now, if he living on his own, he ain't too delayed.
Right.
Okay? He not that delayed where he don't understand that the 11-year-old is an 11-year-old.
Well, I read somewhere, and now again, these is all allegedly stories. We don't know if this is true, that he was still in high school. Because one of his teachers is the one that said that.
And that very well can be true because when you special needs, you can be in high school. And I know in Arkansas, you can be in high school till you're 22. He could be.
See, wouldn't that tell you where if he's still in high school, delayed.
Mm-hmm.
He don't think like a 20-year-old.
I know he don't, but this is what I'm saying. Who is taking care of him?
Okay.
Who is taking care? Because, yeah, I definitely know what age my son is mentally developed, right?
Right.
I know that. they know it too. Whoever, everybody who
knows.
take her, right? So, and I get
So
it.
who allowed him to get in that Uber alone?
Who allowed him to get in the Uber in the middle of the night? Who is not checking his social media? Because this is the thing. If he's so mentally delayed that he's like a little child, you still gotta treat him as such. Y'all not checking his inboxes, what he doing on social media, because any other mother, because I would think at any time somebody would call the police on my child who messaging a 10, 11, or 12-year-old. If they don't care that he delayed. They don't care.
Now that go both ways. That's just like with the 13-year-old.
Well, exactly.
All the
that's
pictures that they were showing.
That's why I feel like the mother knew when it came out that
we know our children.
Yeah, that the mother.
We know our kids.
I really do think the mother knew that this was going on. Some people say she was letting them stay over there to help watch the other children so she can run and do whatever she want to do. That this is all alleged thing, but that makes more sense. The little girl was a video. She got little kids matching bra and panty set. She definitely looked like a child. Her body definitely looks like a child, and it's no reason I know what her body looked like.
Right.
Because she's been neglected.
Well, when we say we know the mom's part, we know the fella part that he's deceased now. Mm-hmm. Where is the blame for this 13-year-old? Because I feel like she played a huge part in this as well.
Her mother.
So we're gonna blame everything on the mom.
No, she's 13.
Because I feel
she's
like
13.
She got sense enough to be on there half naked and trying to date older guys. She had sense enough to know that was wrong. She had sense enough to know to sneak that boy over there and have him to hide under that bed. She knew she was
wrong. Yeah. And he knew he was wrong too. That's why he hid. But I'm saying, we got children until they what? How old?
Say 18.
To they 18. And why? Because when they do things under 18, we
it's our responsibility.
That's why I'm saying it's the mother's responsibility, right? That girl, she's a little girl, has been exposed way too much. That should not be going on.
Like knowing she was, I don't even want to call her fast, that interested in being around boys, they interested in dressing like that. She should have had her mother should have had a better relationship to talk, sit down and have some type of relationship to talk to her, to give her a better understanding on how to dress, whatnot. And her mama should have been taking control of her social media. All that shit she was putting on her shouldn't have been on. Mm-hmm. Then again, at home that time of night, and you know when she that type of daughter, how would you have her at home 1:40 at night?
Yeah, her mama and also all the people around her mama, because the friend said, well, yeah, everybody knew, but we just, people raise their kids
different,
right?
And you can't tell nobody how to raise their kids,
right? But also, you can pick up the phone and call CPS and like, this not right, because.
But now, how many times do we do that? Because now, we all have been around or seen a child that we feel wasn't taken care of properly, or was allowed to do things that they shouldn't. Did we pick up the phone?
I don't know about you, but I ain't been around no kids that I thought was just way too grown. I ain't never seen that in real life. I ain't never seen no child have naked on social media. I ain't never seen no child that I know is a child got a grown boyfriend. Now, I can understand how people would look at this situation and be like, well, he's special needs, she young. I get it.
What?
I get it. I get it how people could look now and turn the other eye, but he's 20 years old. And sexually, he ain't slow on that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, I would feel like in 2 years and how she acts, she's how we see now that she was that's definitely she didn't have the sex.
Right.
Calling them baby daddy and
right. So we know that's not her first time.
Yeah.
This is something she was used to doing, and a way she was used to being.
Especially if it's true that it's been 2 years.
Well, okay, okay. So let me ask you this: what is a appropriate age? Would you say today? That's because
You know what? I just look, and nobody ain't gonna agree, but I was young and what they call fast, but I never. And it's another reason I keep it like if you said I was fast, yeah, I was messing with the boys my age. I wasn't messing with like grown men. You know what I'm saying? I was messing with the boys my age, but um, I my kids really they didn't date. That I don't believe children should date. I feel like you should tell, hey, y'all can be friends, and this is what y'all can and can't do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they can come to a family function with whole bunch of eyes on y'all, but you can't go to their house. They can't come over here. Not like that because
so. At what age would you say it would be okay?
I'm saying my kids was at my house. My daughter
Oh,
was
she
my
was strict as shit, wasn't she?
well, I'm just saying. I mean, they had like I knew like if they liked somebody, they would be on the phone. But like going to the movies, can they come over there? They never even asked me that. They never knew because I am very much aware of the things I did.
Right.
Right in the next room of my mama with the
And
door.
and then that's the thing. I feel like with parents, they forget once they become parents what it was like to be a child.
Yeah.
Like they forget what it was like to be a teenager. And I know either you're gonna let me do it or a child gonna do what they want.
And that's fine. You do it on your own risk, but I'm not gonna help you do it.
But now, why not if you know? And now I'm saying at a reasonable. Don't get this twisted, because I know how y'all like to tussle. At a reasonable age, if you know when your child is into certain things, you know this, and you know they're gonna do it regardless.
Well, and
why not teach them, talk to them, and teach them the right way to do things? Because if you don't, the world gonna teach them the right way.
Right. Yeah, I talked to them about it, but what another aspect I think people fail to realize, most kids ain't emotionally ready for a relationship.
Now that's true.
You know,
That's
it
true.
get real crazy.
It does.
When these little kids is in these relationships, now one of them about to jump off the bridge and kill themselves. They can't go on. It's not that scary.
We had that going on. Shit, some of these 30, 40s, and 50-year-olds.
I didn't want to deal with that. I was trying to prepare them, like, hey, y'all just be friends, because once again, y'all just in high school, y'all got y'all whole lives. You know what I'm saying? And think about your high school boyfriends. Do you even think about them now in life?
When I was in high school, my boyfriend was grown.
Yeah, well,
I didn't,
yeah.
High school boys, and they didn't have no cars.
They didn't have
take
no
me
money.
nowhere. They didn't have no money. I like to do things. I wanted to date. When I said date, I wanted to date. I didn't want to just sit on the phone and be talking to you. You know, I didn't want to come in and watch you watch your little brother and sister. I wanted to go out, and I wanted to be grown. When I say I want to be grown, I want to be grown. In my era, growing up,
yeah, and
that's we were growner than what we were. You know, I was cooking full course meals at 8 years old. You know, it's just how I was raised. It was,
and I think over the years, I think it's kind of gotten to a halt. But over the years, it was normalized for 20, 21-year-olds to be dating. You know,
because you have to
15, 16. Yeah.
You know, the age back then,
that age difference
they were getting married at 12 and 13 years old.
Yeah, starting whole families.
So,
I mean, I get it in the community, but this really got to stop, because your story just happened to be for a moment happily ever after, right?
Because I shouldn't have been dealing. If I knew then what I know now, see, I wanted to be grown then. I didn't know what all came with it. So of course, when I had my children, I taught them different. You know, I let them see everything glitter and gold. And that's how I thought if I could, go and change things, I wouldn't have been dating an older guy, because I missed out on so much of my childhood, of my teens, of my 20s. Like my kids now, I tell my daughter, don't have a baby until you financially stable, till you travel the world, till you know what you really want to do and you know you. I didn't have that chance because I was ready to be grown. I was ready to have kids, have a family. I wanted to be married, drive around. I thought it was just because I watched my mom and dad. I love family. So shit, I couldn't wait to be grown and sit up with my man and my kids, and we do. That's what I thought. That's all life was.
Mm. And I'm sure that's what that 13-year-old girl think. But I'm saying, but she's still a child. And and she come out very child. I didn't know you then, but this little girl come out super, super childish,
Right.
super like
So
she
would you
might
say
be a little
it's
slow too.
So would you say is it about age or is it about the mindset?
Both of them when you under 18 for boys and
So
girls.
you don't think dating under 18 is
I mean, each its own. Like I said, I teach be they friend because that's the first thing you got to find you a friend to be in a relationship,
right?
right? Just be friends. Y'all can say y'all go together and do all that, but the things that going out unsupervised and not
So
no,
it's predatory to you if it's anybody over 18 dealing
very
with
much
somebody
so.
under 18.
Very much so.
Okay, let's just say they was 25 messing with a 60-year-old. Then what?
They both grown. That you can't put that I don't care how big of the age gap is. Now
It's
I do
anybody
think
under 18.
I think that 60 and 25, he wants some well, and even if it was a woman, that was see she wants something nice to look at, and the 25-year-old is on the stableness of a 6-year-old. That's what I think in my mind. Like, but they both grown. They can both do that. But if you tell me a 25-year-old and got a 16-year-old and you want to tell me that the 16-year-old is mature, that's a lie. That's a lie. But when I feel like when it's the young lady, she feels that boosts her confidence in life. Like, yeah, I got this man, but once
I got an older man.
yeah. But once that 16-year-old get grown, have a 16-year-old, you gonna be like, because y'all not. He's a predator. 25, 6, he's a predator. It's no. But I understand because, all the girls, but they like it, like you said, the cars, the nice, I get that. I get that. But
because girls they are more developed and they more mature than guys. They develop early. They be more mature than
but
guys.
not that much.
You don't think so?
No. Mm-mm. You got brothers.
I do.
You got brothers. You got sisters.
I do.
Younger.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just saying when you said they are immature. All immature. Girls and boys. I do think girls, just by a little bit. Just by a little bit. That they more mature than boys at teenagers because they say your brain is fully functioning about 21, 22 as a girl. For a man is 25.
Because I've seen some 15 and 16-year-old young ladies mindset and mind be brighter than some 20-year-olds. I mean, I've seen it. And I've also seen it vice versa. I mean, I think it's just because I still look at me. I still just think about me. I feel like I was so mature and grown at 16. I was, like I said, I moved out of my mama's house at 18, never moved back. I was ready to be grown because I was grown. I just was grown. I knew what it was to be grown. I liked being grown and I couldn't wait to be grown. I mean, and my mind was so much more developed than my brothers because they were younger. You know, I was ready to be grown. You don't think? Just like a 17-year-old. Just like right now, we got some 17-year-old that's live on their own. And they running their house, going to school. Some I know one that got a baby. But she's going to school, working, and taking care of her child.
But she doing what she needs to do because she got a child. She's in that position. But I wonder, 10 years from now, will she say, hey, I wish I hadn't done it? Or maybe it's necessary. Some kids have to, get emancipated and do what they got to do, Essie. But I wonder, will she say 10 years from now, I wish I had enjoyed my childhood? In the moment, you got to do what you got to do. And I applaud you, sister, because that's what you needed to do.
Right. But I get that. We missing you. Like I said, I missed my childhood. I didn't start traveling until my kids was really, older to be at home by themselves. I missed a whole lot because I wanted to be grown. That was one of the cons of trying to be grown. I didn't enjoy the things that people 16 and 17-year-old was enjoying. But I wanted them. Yeah.
You want to have a family. You was a lover, girl. You was a lover.
I told you I love love and always have been like that. I just think it's just a great thing to, just have your husband and your kids and your white picket fence. It's my fairy tale. We talked about fairy tale. We all want our fairy tale, and that's my fairy tale. And I guess that's always been my fairy tale. See, when it comes to me, when it comes to dating, I think you should, at 16, I feel like your mind is to where you can start, it's just me. Because these kids are so different now and I think each generation of children are different.
I think they different, but I think they all the same. I think society keep on trying to push our children to an era where children shouldn't be. These are just examples. Like, you go buy a 5 or a 6-year-old a look some shorts. Why the shorts this?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Now, all the shorts this and now we got the kids and now the kids feeling like, oh, I got shorts same size my auntie.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? I think society is pushing the kids in. And I don't know if the parents just like, oh, well, kid. No. 20 years ago, 12-year-old is the same 12-year-old that's now. They the same. You can't let the world mold and shape your children.
But that's what has happened.
But you can't let it.
You say we can't let them, but I've watched a parent try to be strict and try to do things that our parents did or we did with our kids. You can't be strict like that on these kids now. Hell, you can't whoop them. You can't holler at them.
Shit.
These parents scared to whoop their kids. They running off. They calling the police.
Let me say something. Well, I'm just I get out. I get out of it. They trying to kids always trying to push to see the limits or whatever. Yeah. And this has always been my thing when people because you ain't the first person. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be the type of mother. I'm gonna be. You want to run off and you want to do this. That world gonna eat you up real quick, and you'll be back.
You'll be back.
You'll be back. Because I'm a good mother to you. You'll be back when you see what it is. And no, I don't even want my own kids to get, and they have certain things have happened. I was like, damn, I hate that happened for you. You know what I'm saying? One of my children was homeless for a while. But you got to come back home, right? You can't, it's just what it is.
So you don't think the parenting changed with the generation?
I think you could slightly. I'm just saying, like, girl, we was getting. I done got beat with all kind of extension, whatever in hand, right?
You could do that,
right. But I wouldn't necessarily do that now. Like, I wouldn't beat my grandchildren with the Hot
Have the
Wheel.
things that you gotta be.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But when I say no, this is what I mean. I for the life of me, and the people gonna be upset. I don't understand why 5 and 6 year olds got a phone and a tablet and all this other. I don't get it. I don't get why these children 10, 11, 12 got $1,000 phones. Yeah, them your kids, you can buy them $1,000 phones. Yeah, you're right, you can. But where are we going? There's this, as technology progress now, the predators are progressing.
Parents start getting the kids this stuff now. It's because get out my here you go. Something to keep them quiet and get them out their face so they can be on social media, so they can be doing their thing. They want something to quiet the kids down. And a lot of people, parents, some use it education because kids do like my grandbaby knew how to write her name, her ABCs. She knew how to start reading and everything before she even started school. And it was all because she had a tablet. She would go on there and we put learning stuff on there, but we made sure everything else was blocked. But these kids, they like YouTube. They like they like all of that because
you really and I get that. I'm not saying like we shouldn't be using technology for learning purposes always. That's what technology be for. But I'm also saying like you got to even at YouTube, you download the kid YouTube and put all the blocks on. You still gotta look over your shoulder every time because
there's cursing and sexual stuff on there.
Intentional for the children. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes you still got to be right there with them. You still got to monitor them even harder when they got the technology instead of let's go to the park or let's put you in karate. Let's fill your time up and just an hour of screen time a day or something because you could do all them things and they still got the cussing, the sexual stuff on the children YouTube, not the regular one.
That's true.
Stuff like that. And
so society really is pushing our kids to the dating and the sex and way harder than I think they seeing stuff at home. Because like I said,
I do think so. I think the predators, and I really think people don't understand the level of predators that there are, men, women, so many.
I'm glad you said men and women.
Men and women.
Let's not leave the women out because it's some women predators too. Been going on for a long time.
Yeah. With boys and girls, you know what I'm saying? And so it's a lot, and I think that's why I don't know if you ever in a situation. The children being victims are never really taken seriously in anything, right? So I just feel like this is a way for them to get access to the children. See, back in the day when we didn't have, so I'm not gonna say all they could do. They could still trick the parents and think, but they was snatching kids, snatching them. Now they get online, talk to them like a little kid, and meet them somewhere, and they got them. They ain't gotta search and hunt down the kids, because the kids can't even play outside no more like they used to. But because they on the tablets and then they go just act like they're another little kid and we gonna meet at the park and now your kid is gone.
Because it's a whole grown person.
Exactly. And they thinking they talking and playing a little Roblox with another 8-year-old. So do you.
That's true.
So that's what I think. It's more about the predators and the children, why everything is so sexualized and way more than it was when we were kids, but nothing new under the sun. Right. Girls gone want a boyfriend when they get out, right. A teenager and preteens, you know what I'm saying? They gonna want that. We see right now the whole. Are you familiar with Woo Lady? Woo Lady is this lady in Miami got a whole ebook on how to get a trick. And these young, they not kids. Let's just nothing with the kids. But I'm saying at 20 and this up 20 and up, they purchasing ebooks trying to figure out how to get a trick because you want a nigga with money. But anybody know a real trick? It's something come with it.
It's
Nothing free. You know what I'm saying?
You giving up something.
And so as I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, I don't understand that. Nothing is free. Like, and then and they from well, she from Dade County. She want to make that, but all the people down there is like, hey, yeah, they give you bags and then you be on a stroll. Like, you know what I'm saying? How they do it down in Florida.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But everybody want this.
They want to be given something. Nobody want to work for it. They want a trick. They want, and they gonna get a trick, all right. They gonna get tricked
and be tricky
and be tricked. There you go. We got plenty of comments, but of course I couldn't see them. Thank y'all for tuning in and just watching us and giving your comments on what we got to say.
Just seeing all them up there. Yeah. Look, I wish I can't see worth none anyway.
I don't got my reading people here. I've been doing this solo because everybody on the road or either working, but I'm so thankful to have Erica here to talk about this because this is very important. Children need to stay in children's places. Right. Kids need to be kids. Mm-hmm. Don't do what I did when I was 15, 14, 16 years old. Because, of course, like I said, my mindset now is totally different. Mm-hmm.
And I agree. I agree that I was fast.
Right. But I was fast.
I was fast with the boys my age, but I don't think a girl can be fast enough for an adult man because it's his responsibility.
Right. But I get that you're right. It is his responsibility. But by me being fast and inviting somebody over, I don't think it's right or fair for them to lose their life. Even though they wrong. Like, they are wrong for come and speak, but I still was okay with them coming. They shouldn't lose their life. I feel like in that instant, the mama should have called the police, made a police report, handle it that way, and then do what you need to do properly for your daughter. Right. Because now, look, what is her daughter gonna do now?
Yeah, that also.
I'm just saying.
Right. But I think it's easier for people to say in a moment because maybe you're not that type of person. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person, I ain't gonna have no understanding. I don't.
Somebody under your child's bed.
Exactly. And you can't fault the person because they in their home.
Right. That's true.
Either or situations could happen. And I think people like all the backstory on the backhand after the situation. Nobody's speaking about,
right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you ever been in the midst of a crime of any sort, you ain't thinking about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You either try how I'm gonna get out this situation,
how I'm gonna protect myself, my household.
That's what you're thinking about. And I get that. But I also think like people know. But I do think this news story is probably the best version of the truth. We gonna get to this until the actual trial.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It makes more sense.
So if the shoe was on the other foot and if it was a girl under a boy's bed,
I think people for me, is she grown? Is she 20?
She 20.
I would have whooped that whole ass.
See, you're going to whoop her, but you're going to shoot him.
Yeah, because he a man. That's what I bought the gun for, the man. Men in general, that's what I bought the gun for. But I don't.
A 20-year-old woman is under your 14, 15-year-old son's bed. You're going to be mad.
Oh, yeah. Her ass was going to be whooped before I called the police. I don't need no gun on her. But I bought me a gun for men all around the board, right? I don't need one for no woman.
And I asked that because, so many people, we see things different when it's a woman. Because like I said, when a older woman is dating a younger man, it's he ha ha. The dad is love to see their son. Mm-hmm. dating an older woman.
And a lot of mothers ain't gonna mind.
I know personally, and the people that know me and know they're gonna know what I'm talking about. I know a guy was in high school. I think he was in the 8th or 9th grade. He was dating his teacher. His teacher ended up having a baby about and marrying her.
And she should.
A lot of people knew about it. A lot of people in their community knew about it. The parents knew about it, and it was okay. You know, they was high fiving the boy. But when a man do it, it's something wrong. You know,
yeah, people want to just women be predators too, and it's a lot of them. I used to work in the halfway house. It's a lot of. I didn't realize it's a lot of them. And one thing about it, I just feel like at a certain age, once you be a predator, I think it is a fine line. Like if you was like 18 and you was dating a 16-year-old and then you turn 19, it's a fine line. But before y'all even start dating, the parents should have done the math and said this not gonna work too long. Cause I don't feel like 19, 20-year-old, y'all ain't got enough in common. You know, you can't even be out at school nights. They at the club or doing whatever. But I think it's fine line. But when you get to be a teacher and a student, she should have went to jail. She is a predator.
She is.
Because let me ask you something. How managed do a boy gotta be for you to throw that thing?
For who, me?
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing a boy can do for me.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just me. It's nothing a boy can do for me.
Exactly.
You know, a boy. I've been a substitute teacher before. Not one of those kids that ever I could look at them in that type of way.
Exactly.
No matter what type of passes they threw at me.
Exactly.
No matter what they said to me, I couldn't see myself.
That's why girls can't be fast enough and boys can't be managed enough for no grown person. They like children. That's the thing. The grown people like the children.
And so, but as long as they grown,
yeah.
If it's a big age difference, you don't see nothing wrong with it.
No. It could be something else, as if, you know, some men, and I realized this. Oh, I got so mad one time. This man had told me this. I was like in my 30s. He only dated younger women, but he said, and I get it when I got him on 40s. You know, like the women in their 40s, they got grandchildren. Some of the adult kids, they got a lot more responsibility. They're not as flexible to travel and do certain things.
He wants somebody.
He wants somebody he wanted to have fun with. And I was just like, because I remember saying, like, so when I get to 40, then all the 40-year-olds gonna be one, you know what I'm saying? But he also had money. He was my boss. He also had money.
I mean,
so you know what I'm saying?
When you turn 80, just say you turn 60, 70 years old. Yeah, you ain't gonna want nobody 70. You gonna want you somebody that can get it.
Yeah, I might give me a little 40-year-old.
You're something.
Little 39.
I
might, and I get it. When I got to a certain age, when I was just like, that don't make no sense. Like, but so with that said, if you watching and you in your 20s, this is the best time of your life. Don't be bogged down to no nigga get out here and get these old men money, okay? Because they giving it away.
You heard them.
Now, it's the best time.
They just giving it away.
They be giving it. I done seen it.
You done seen it.
It's the best time. You in your 20s. Live, girl. Don't just.
What about the men? What should the men in their 20s?
They should be hustling. Stacking
Don't try to be getting no old women money.
Well, they can do that too, but I'm just saying, you in your 20s, you need to be where you can be in your 40s and you can do what you want to do.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you a man, you need to be getting to it, right? Because in your 30s, them 30-year-old women, they can still pull the old men too. Like what you gonna bring to the table? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Well, y'all know my viewpoint on here. I see my girl Yolanda is on here. Girl, look. You see what's on the table. But me, when it comes to dating, again, hey,
know you.
It's the mind.
And you
to
know
me.
what? I was really, maybe in a different lifetime. The girls are grown now, right? They did what they grown. But I just did not want them to repeat the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So where I knew I had a great mother, but we were so different in how we would behave. She couldn't keep up with me. I want to make sure I keep up with my kids. You know what I'm saying? One is married now, and one she got kids. She had kids when she got an adult. I didn't want nobody bringing no babies home in high school. I brought baby home in high school. I want you to walk across the stage without nobody on your hip.
You got pregnant by somebody your age, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you weren't dabbling with the older men. That's why you always appreciate that skill.
No, I confront. I always thought that was weird.
Really?
I always that was just me like
they gonna catch worms.
Not because I ain't think that out, but we used to catch the bug. The niggas was at the bus stop, and I was just like, this weird. That's creepy.
They on a bus stop.
Yeah, that was my mindset. I was out there, but I just went out there.
And see, my mindset. When I was getting on the bus and I saw the guys,
I ain't got to ride the bus.
I was like, shit, can I get in?
But see, we had the boys. The 90s was a great time for crack. We had boys in high school, junior high, with their own cars.
Living grown.
Yeah.
See, that's what I wanted to grown.
I just had one of them. I had one of them.
Well, I went around a lot of them. I saw a lot of them like that. But I guess like I say, hanging with my older siblings, older cousins. I seen they older people, and that's who I was attracted to. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm finna show up at school and with the Daytons, the cars they used to have, and the loud music. I want the showboat. My old man here. Even though he was in his 20s.
You was calling him your old man?
My old man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I was calling bringing me candy to the school. Taco Bell. Hey, because the guys my age couldn't afford Taco Bell and shit back then. Them older men was bringing, you know what they was doing. Mm-hmm. It was a whole lot of nothing that meant a lot to my young ass back then. And that's how they got, that's how they give us little breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
And here I come. Like a little, But now.
You was a child.
I was a child.
It's okay.
They was taking advantage of me.
They was.
But
it was nice. It was
It was good when it happened.
Yeah, it was good, but yeah.
But now I know better. I do better. Is that what they say? I taught my daughter different.
Yeah.
Because
I saw that, man.
Because when as I got older, I knew this shit was,
Yeah.
It wasn't right. It was. I didn't have no business doing it. So of course I taught my child different. Mm-hmm. But I still feel nobody should lose their life over a mistake. And I ain't talking about him because he was old enough to know. Mm-hmm. I'm saying over the daughter's mistake of trying to be grown.
Yeah. Kind of, sort of. And I do agree with that, but I'm just saying in the heat of the moment, you might not.
Like Erica is a boy. She don't take no prisoners.
But
she was like, free her.
Because I can understand, even though lawfully leaving out the port, you can't do that with anybody.
That's my thing is, why did you wait till he go out the house?
But in the heat of the moment, in a situation like that, because in my mind, at this time, I'm thinking she don't know who this man is. Right. She don't, and I can see if you don't know who this man and you don't know what ticking bomb triggers people.
And that's why you would say, team free her. So what are you now?
Now I'm like, I believe the latest things that came out, and I believe this child has been abused and neglected by her mother. I believe the young man at some level has been neglected by who supposed to be taking care of him. as a mentally delayed person. And this is the kind of situations that happen when children, and no matter how old him, are not taken care of properly.
Right.
These things can happen. Now he's dead. And people's like, oh, she didn't have to. Right. She didn't have to. However, he didn't have to be there. He should have never been there. I don't know how the two met. They say they met on the social media. Watch your children's social media. Watch your special needs social media.
And with that being said, I say on that is one thing that this have taught us, all it should have taught us is mothers, talk to your daughters, talk to your sons,
Mm-hmm.
teach your sons who they should and shouldn't try to date.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to your daughters on what they should and shouldn't be posting and who they should and shouldn't be trying to attract. Watch your kids' social media. I don't want to hear, I don't believe the excuse of they keep making fake pages or they made a different page. They got facial recognition now. Where if you want to find out what your kids doing, you will know what they doing.
Okay.
Finding out what your kids doing like you find out what your man.
Come on now. Come on.
We'll be an FBI
Keep
when it
up
comes
with
to
the
our
children
man.
like you keep up with that
Keep
other girl
up.
he messed with.
Keep up with your daughter and your son the same way. If this has not taught us nothing else, it has taught us that. And it also has taught us to sometimes we have to think before we react.
That's hard to do
It
in
is.
this situation.
It is.
That's
it
all I'm saying.
is.
I think people, because everybody's like, that you be in a situation. It's hard to think in the situation.
It's hard.
And that's all I'm saying. That's why people make mistakes. Okay, this was a mistake. You don't think that the boy should have been dead. But what about the argument at the club and somebody stabbed somebody or somebody should snap you in the
right.
And that's all I was saying. In the snapper, you might have killed them too. Hell, I don't know.
I mean, I know how that can happen.
Right.
Before we close, I'm gonna tell a little story. I know how that can happen. Maybe a couple of months ago, maybe 2 months ago, me and my man we was at home laying in the bed, and we got a camera, and somebody was at the door, and he said the little boy said, "Oh, they got a camera," and they took out. We had got up to see what was going on. We see a lot of little black boys running from the house, not knowing they've been knocking at people's doors doing the same thing. Us not knowing that they were kids at the time, the first thing we did, my man grabbed that gun. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing, and went out the house. Now, did we want to kill somebody's child? No, we did. But in the instant where you're not thinking, you just trying to protect your house, we could have took an innocent child. Well, I ain't gonna say innocent because they shouldn't have been right at the door doing what he was doing. But we would have took a child's life, not want to, but you're not thinking. You're just trying to protect. So I get that.
That's what I'm saying. And what the children doing out there in the middle
of the night. What they doing out that time of night, messing with people's doors, trying to open the doors. I don't know if they was trying to come in.
And what if y'all didn't have cameras and they was trying to come in?
And you see what I'm saying? I said, what if we didn't have cameras and he noticed it? I don't know if they was trying to kick the door. And we stay in a great neighborhood. See, it can happen anywhere. It can happen anywhere. That's why I say talk to your kids. Parents, talk to your kids. Know what they doing. Know their whereabouts. Before we go, is there anything else you like to say?
No, I see y'all when I see y'all again.
Well, y'all know y'all gonna see her again.
Yeah, you gonna see me again. But when you see me, hey y'all.
Hey y'all, and buy some glasses. And look, y'all see every time she comes, she got a different pair on. Mm-hmm. Must be nice.
Girl. Look, I'm trying to sell them.
I know that's right. You know what I mean? Hey, y'all. And with that being said, remember, it's not what's on you, it's what's in you. So let's try to have some good and positive things in you. Until next time, I love y'all and thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of LaQuinta Chatterbox. And thank you, Erica, for coming and having this conversation with us. Thank you. Good night, y'all.
Good night.